Perhaps they could review the meal.
Yeah. What did you have for dinner?
Well, we didn't eat here, so...
Where did you eat?
We ate at the Mexican restaurant up the road.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to talk.
Fajitas? Anyone, did you know?
Actually, all fajitas all around.
Yeah.
No, I had a quesadilla. And I should have been wearing my hat.
I had quesadilla envy. They just look like little tiny, you know, those little tiny squash toasted sandwiches you get?
Yeah.
You know, the squash the better.
Yeah.
And these were like really squashed little bite-sized little Mexican
And
sandwiches.
they were the kind of portions that actually made you think you weren't eating that much, even though I was eating just as much as the rest of you.
Yeah.
Because they were all nicely cut. It's like, you know, when someone, like when your mum would make you eat a whole apple, she'd cut it all up and all that, and then you'd think, this is great, I'm eating, and you'd eat the whole apple.
Was it just a coincidence that you went in there dressed in that kind of cowboy garb? Or was it, there weren't any banditos that came scurrying out of the kitchen? Or anything?
Yeah, no, there was the chef was wearing chaps with the bum cut out. In fact, all the staff had the bum cut out.
It is Newtown.
Yeah, well, it was suggested
Yeah,
to us that we
that.
should also cut the arse out of their jeans, but we'll...
Barnaby's attempting to blow the arse out of his.
Is there a repeating on you, Mr. Barney?
Not at this point, but we'll see later tonight. We're sharing a room, unfortunately. So, yeah, but it's all right. It's all good. Yeah.
I was here years ago, and I remember having risotto, and I remember thinking that I'm not going to have risotto again. Well, in a restaurant, because it invariably ends up looking like prison food.
Sort of something from A Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich.
Yeah,
with a little bit of cabbage, just sort of garnishing it. I like how the conversation continually revolves around food. It's good.
Yeah.
The curly apple is another way in which you can make your kids eat the whole apple without realising they're eating the whole apple. The curly apple, yeah, it's this sort of...
The winder.
You wind it through the apple and, yeah, it's very sexy.
If you had kids, you could get your kids to eat the whole apple.
I think a lot of it, if you want to eat something, more interestingly, you put it into good shape. Like it's like your toast.
Well, the Japanese are very good at that, aren't they? The Japanese sculpt the fruit. You know, they make the fruit into a little boat, or you know, into the shape of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
That is very Japanese.
It is. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Have you noticed, if I can ask you a question?
Yeah.
We were admiring Led Zeppelin's poster before. And that's all I really need to say.
Yeah, the camel toes, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but if you look at Jimmy Page, you can clearly see the helmet of his penis through his pants, which, you know, I'm very impressed by that. I mean, fuck the jet. It's the that sort of it's there. See?
Well, do you think that is how the immigrant song got started? Because he put on his jeans one morning and went, ah!
So he's a lefty, is he?
Well, yeah, he must be. It's fabulous, isn't it? I mean, that sort of picture is what you look at that when you're 13, and you know, years and years and years later, you're in some smelly shithole band room, and you know, you've realised that you've wasted most of your life. It's that picture that...
The rhythm section there, if they didn't have, you know, tops on and moustaches and stuff, you'd be going, you know, is that a man or a woman?
Do you think that he could carry it off today, though? Would you like to see him dressed like that today?
Oh, you can definitely carry that off today. I mean, we've obviously got the retro sort of happening.
We'll be looking out for that specific thing.
I don't know whether... I think girls today are a little bit more sort of aware of a boy who has the helmet of his penis clearly showing through his jeans. I think they possibly... I think they might possibly, you know, not be fooled by that kind of behaviour. Jimmy Page was fond of the 15-year-olds as well. He used to go out with a girl called Laurie Maddox, who was about 15. You know, I mean, these days they'd be on Today Tonight. Jimmy Page, you know, was regarded as a huge inspiration to people. What's wrong with that? Today Tonight.
What do you get if you listen to a lot of that?
I don't know.
He'd be shamed. Shame.
Yes.
It'd be like that pedophile that they're trying to not have in any community.
That's right, yeah. Jimmy Page, pedophile. I mean, everyone picks on Gary Glitter. You know, Gary Glitter had some fabulous... Gary Glitter's got a whole oeuvre of music that I totally respect. I mean, just because he liked to root young boys, it's not, you know, we shouldn't sort of forget that he gave us rock and roll parts 1 and 2, you know. I mean, I rest my case.
Sin should be separated from art.
Well, it should, shouldn't it? Yeah. So if you want to go out there with the helmet of your penis clearly visible through your jeans, I say good on you.
Well, I think that one of you should do that tonight.
Yeah.
You should pick it.
Look, I have in fact volunteered
I'll
for
just
that.
go and fix it up.
The issue was that as I was about to because I would obviously have to disrobe and then re-robe, all you guys walked in as I was about to do that. So I haven't
Go
had the
ahead.
opportunity yet.
We'll do it now on camera.
The thing is, I'm a little bit shy about that.
And
So
your
I'm
helmet might
going
be
to-
tucked up a bit.
And it may not end up looking like that.
Yeah.
So I need to
So-
also...
Would you think that he's circumcised though? Do you think that that might have something to do with the, you know, the outline of the knob, or?
I don't know.
I reckon it's actually doodle that way, balls that way. Am I just reinterpreting?
I reckon it's all balls. I don't think there's his dicks in it.